Yeah. Something like a cloud providers. Cloud providers are AWS, Azure, OCI, GCP, IBM, Alibaba. So what are the cloud services? IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. So what are the cloud environments? Something like a public, private, hybrid. What are the AWS services? So they are providing 74 services, which includes EC2, S3, CloudWatch, Route 53, VPC, IAM, and RDS. So these are the services they are providing. So this is the a basic picture of cloud, a basic picture of the cloud environment. So every cloud provider having IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. So every cloud provider provides the environments like a public, private, and hybrid. Guys, got it right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. So much appreciated, guys, because so you are following something like you were following me. So what is a cloud service? Services and solutions that are delivered and consumed in real time over internet are cloud services. What is a cloud service? Services and solutions that are delivered and consumed in real time over internet are cloud services. So when you store your photos online, use webmail or a social networking site, you will use cloud computing service. You'll use cloud computing services. So what is cloud computing? Cloud computing is a delivery model of computing services over the internet. What is cloud computing? Cloud computing is a delivery model of computing services over the internet. It enables real-time development and delivery of broad range of products, services, and solutions. Cloud computing is a style of computing where massively scalable. Scalable means so something like increasing. So cloud computing is a style of computing where massively scalable IT related capabilities are provided as a service across the internet to multiple external customers. Multiple external customers. 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So what is a cloud computing? So cloud computing is a delivery model of computing services over the internet. It enables a real-time development, deployment, and delivery of broad range of products and services solutions. So cloud computing is a style of computing where massively scalable IT-related capabilities are provided as a service across the internet to multiple external customers. Multiple external customers. So what is a cloud computing? So this is the cloud computing, something like so we can interact with the computing resources over the internet. Over the internet is nothing but a so computing is nothing but a cloud computing. So computing and software resources that are delivered on demand as a service. What are the service? On demand. On demand are reserved. These are the services. So computing and software resources that are delivered delivered on demand as a service. As a service. Something like a database service, applications, or storage services. So they're providing. So why we are going for a cloud computing? Why we are going for a cloud computing? Lower computing cost. Lower computing cost. Guys, improved performance, reduced software cost, instant software updates, unlimited storage capacity, increased data reliability, so device independence, and always on, anywhere and any place. Always on, anywhere and any place. Lower computing cost, improved performance, reduced software cost, instant software updates, unlimited storage capacity, increased data reliability, device independence, and always on, anywhere and any place. Free from maintenance and the no need to no. History and origins of cloud computing. Yesterday I already told you, right, guys? So regarding AWS, but so in 1996, something like 1996, supercomputers and mainframes. In 1999, the first milestone of a cloud, the arrival of Amazon Web Services. So in 2000, launch Amazon Web. In 2003, so something like a Google, something like a 2008 and 2009, Windows, Azure, Google platforms. These are the launched in 2008. Launches of Google Apple Engine, Windows, Azure Beta. Characteristics of a cloud computing. So what is the characteristics? So on demand, flexible pricing per flexible pricing pay per use. What is the cloud slogan, guys? So what is the cloud slogan? Guys, anyone know? Pay as you go. Yeah, so that is a flexible pricing pay per use. So rapid elasticity means we can increase and we can decrease. Resource pooling, so resource pooling and ubiquitous network access, something like the network access. So characteristics of cloud computing: on demand self-services, ubiquitous network access and resource pooling, advanced virtualization, rapid elasticity, flexible pricing. So something like on-demand self-services, ubiquitous network access, resource pooling, a rapid elasticity, a flexible pricing, pay per use. So something like a resource pooling. So what is the resource pooling? So here these are the resource pooling. Something like a rapid elasticity. So we can increase or we can decrease rapid elasticity. So flexible pricing per pay per use. So cloud service layers. Cloud service layers. What are the cloud service layers? SaaS, PaaS, IaaS. Right? You guys, right? You already understand. So the bottom layer is infrastructure. The second layer is the top. Second layer is platforms. The third layer is applications. So these are the. So this is the IaaS. This is a PaaS. This is a SaaS. Is a SaaS. Something like a cloud service layers, infrastructure as a service, servers, networking, storage, data centers, so firewalls, load balancers, these are the infrastructure. So platform as a service, so middleware, web application, runtime, something like a development tooling, database, Java runtime, these are the platform. Software as a service, so email service, business processors, industry applications, CRM, ERP, HR, so these are the software as a services. Cloud service models and comparison, you already knows, right? I already told you, right? So this so what is the this is the physical data center, this is the SaaS, software as a service. So physical data centers, everything will managed by ourselves. The SaaS, everything will be managed by the cloud. So IaaS, something like one part, something like IaaS, one part will be managed by ourselves. So one part infrastructure they will be managed by infrastructure. So apart from the infrastructure, platform as a service and software as a service, we will take care of it. So something like a PaaS, they will take care of the IaaS and PaaS. So only we will take care of we will take care the SaaS only. So this is the cloud service models, cloud services. So cloud implementation types, we already write, right? Cloud environments, cloud environment, private, public, hybrid. So what is private? Internal cloud data centers eligibility. So hybrid cloud, external cloud, trusted cloud, and internal cloud also. So external cloud. So this is not what a public cloud. So public cloud owned and managed by the service provider, owned and managed by the service provider, made available to the general public or a large industry groups. Large industry groups. Something like a private cloud, operated slowly for an organization, solo, something like a solo. So maybe a managed by organization or a third party, limited access to the enterprise and partner. Hybrid cloud. So composition of a two or more clouds bounded together by standardized and proprietary technology that enables data and application portability. So cloud computing is the fastest. What is the conclusion? Cloud computing is the fastest growing part of network-based computing. It provides a tremendous benefit to the customers of all sizes, simple users, developers, enterprises, and all type of organization. Cloud computing is the fastest growing part of network-based computing. It provides a tremendous benefits to a customer of all sizes, simple users, developers, enterprises, and all type of organizations. All type of organizations. Yeah. So what is AWS? Benefits of using AWS, history and origins of AWS, AWS components, AWS services, AWS regions, AWS availability zones, AWS edge locations, AWS certifications. So in the module 2, what we are discussing, what is AWS, benefits of using AWS, history and origins of AWS, AWS components, AWS services, AWS regions, AWS availability zones, AWS edge locations, AWS certifications. So everything yesterday, everything we were covered everything yesterday, but so we will give you a small intro about that. What is AWS? So what is AWS? AWS, Amazon Web Services, are a collection of remote services. Amazon Web Services are a collection of remote services are called as a web services offered by the Amazon.com over the internet, build and run an application. So build and run an application purpose, they are introducing a service called Amazon Web Services. This is available from a remote services. So Amazon Web Services is a robust, scalable, and affordable infrastructure for cloud computing. So AWS provide a compute, storage, and database services, quickly provisioning the IT needs. What they are provide? A compute means instances or servers, a storage, and databases. Storage is nothing but a S3, a database is nothing but a RDSS. Services quickly provisioning the IT needs. What is AWS? AWS is a set of cloud computing services. AWS is a set of cloud computing services. AWS is a flexibility, availability, and scalability. AWS is a elasticity. Scale up or scale down as needed. We can get resources instantly. So we can get the resources instantly. AWS is fully on-demand services. On-demand services. AWS is a set of cloud computing services. AWS is a flexibility, availability, and scalable. AWS is a elasticity, scale up or scale down as needed. We can get the resources instantly. AWS is fully on demand. Benefits of using AWS. Pay-per-use model. Pay-per-use model. Something you are only charged for the disk space, CPU time, and bandwidth that you use. You are only charged for the disk space, CPU time, and bandwidth that you use. So instant scalability. What is that? Instant scalability. Your service automatically scales on AWS stack. If you need, it automatically scales. So reliable and redundant, infrequent outages. So far, data is redundant in the cloud. All services have built-in security. AWS delivers a scalable cloud computing platform that provides customer with end-to-end security and end-to-end privacy. AWS delivers a cloud computing platform that provides customer with end-to-end security and end-to-end privacy. Most services accessed via a simple REST or SOP API. So you guys right? So most of the services are accessed via a simple REST or SOP API. So libraries are available in the all major languages, minimal a learning curve. So what is REST API? SOP API, something like a AWS portal, AWS console. Most services are accessible via REST API. You got it right, guys? Service level agreement. You guys know, right? Service level agreement, SLA. SLA between 99.99% and 100% availability. Amazon S3 maintains a durability of 99.999%. Availability and support. Availability zones exist on isolated fault lines, floodplains, and electrical grids to the subsequently reduce the chance of simultaneous failures. Support. AWS provides 24/7 support in the real-time operational status of all services around the globe. History and origins of AWS. Grieve out of emissions, need a rapidly provision and configure missions of standard configurations for its own business. Early 2000s, both private and shared data centers began using virtualization to perform the server consolidations. So 2003 internal memo by Cheris describing an infrastructure service for the vault. In 2006, S3 first deployed in the spring, EC2 in fall. 2008, Elastic Block Storage available. Amazon EC2 now offers Windows Server 2008 also. So initially, it started from a Linux. Initially, every cloud environment started, something like a cloud environment started. So started with a Linux OS. But Amazon EC2 now offers the Windows Servers 2008 also. So Windows Servers, they slowly introduced, they slowly enhancing, first they initially started with a Linux OSs, all the flavors of Linux OSs. So then they introduced their own OS, Amazon Linux, and CentOS, Red Hat, Oracle Linux, Ubuntu. So something like now Mac OS is there, and something like a server, Windows Server is OS. They are enhanced or introduced and new features. So in 2009, relational database services. 2009, relational database services. What is relational database services, guys? Does you guys know? Relational database RDS services. Yes.
Yes.
So do you have any idea about RDS?
No.
Yeah. So RDS is nothing but a database services. So they are providing Oracle, DB2, Postgres, MySQL, Cassandra. So these are the database services, RDS services. Right. So if you want a Oracle database, first you need to get the infrastructure. Like we need to get the server. So in that server hardware, and we install the something like a CentOS. In that CentOS, so we installed a Oracle software. Oracle database software is nothing but a platform, right? Platform, something like a PaaS. They introduced as a service, platform as a service is a RDS. Right? Now you understand. Announcing Amazon CloudFront streaming, AWS launches the Northern California region, Amazon EC2 instances now can boot from the Amazon EBS. EBS means elastic block size, elastic block slice. So introducing Amazon EBS shared snapshots. So DynamoDB announcing Windows Server 2012 on AWS. So 2013 Amazon DynamoDB console now available in AWS Go Cloud. So new management console and support for more AWS features. Announcing the next generation of Amazon EC2 high IO instance. Amazon Glacier is now available in the AWS Go Cloud region. Amazon CloudWatch logs, cross-account subscriptions, Amazon EC2 container service available in US West North California. 2014, they introduced a Amazon EC2 container service. EC2 container services. You guys, I already told you, right?
Yes.
So the first layer is something like a physical server, right? So this is the physical server. So this is the virtualization. So then the next a containerization. So what next? A containerization. So containerization, container concepts. So containers, we can run number of containers in the server. We can run the number of containers. So in this container, so this is the container concept, something like, so this is the
Physical.
physical server. So physical server means, so we can install only one OS. So next a virtualization concept comes. Next virtualization. So we can divide it, so we can install the VMware software, and we can use the resources. We can use the resources, something like this is the concept of virtualization. Virtualization. So virtualization concept. So these are the VM, something like a VM. So this is the virtual machine. So virtual machine. Something like based on the resources, you can create your number of something like VMware ESXi OS. VMware ESXi 6.0 OS. So installed. So here CentOS 7 OS installed. CentOS 7 OS installed. Here a container service. Container is nothing but a containerization is nothing but a, so something like a image OS image plus your code. Your code equal to something like 300 MB or something like a 500 MB. So these are the container services, calling as a container. These are the containers. In the services, we can run number of containers. So how much of something like it this is? So this is a RAM, something like a RAM equal to 2 GB, 2 GB, a CPU equal to something like 2 CPU, something like HDD equal to something like 100 GB. So every VM, something like here. So RAM equal to a big server, right? RAM equal to 128 GB. CPU equal to a 20 CPU, and HDD equal to 2 TB. So here the simplification, the big impact from physical to physical to physical to virtualization. So big impact. So big impact is physical to virtualization. So then virtualization to contain. To containerization. So what is the impact? So physical to virtual. So virtual to containerization. So physical to virtual. So virtual to containerization. So all the cloud environments are using a VM based virtualization concepts. All cloud environments using so initially they are using a virtualization concept. A virtualization a concept. Right, guys? Now you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So something like dynamic.
Can you please just quickly throw some light on that containerization? I think I missed.
Sorry?
The containerization.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't understand that concept. Yeah.
Yeah, you will understand. Going forward, you will understand. So something like so introduces ECS and EKS. You know, recently the word is something like a catchy word is Kubernetes.
Yes.
Yeah. So
That's what I believe.
Kubernetes concept is developed from a containerization. So the containerization, Elasticsearch containerization concept. So services. ECS is a Amazon service. EKS is a Amazon services. Okay. EKS means Elasticsearch Kubernetes. Kubernetes means Kubernetes. So Kubernetes means is something like a Kubernetes is a containerization or container orchestration service. So they can orchestration means, you know, right? Something like a musical orchestration.
Yeah.
Somebody is saying something like how we can play it. Some guy is instructing to the people how we can play. So what is the instrument we can play now? So the one guy is something like orchestration, something like right.
Yeah.
The same way. So EKS is the orchestration Kubernetes container orchestration tool. Got it right? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. So various components of Amazon AWS computing platform. So what are the management services, application platforms, and foundation services, and global infrastructure? This is the main important, guys. Please be something like please listen. So various component of AWS. AWS computing platform, something like our application, something like our applications. So how we can manage? So global AWS global infrastructure. AWS global infrastructure. So it will be a availability zones, a regions, availability zones, and edge locations. Availability zones and edge locations. So foundation services. What are the foundation services? So compute, storage, a database, and networking. These are the foundation services. Application platform services, content distribution, messaging, parallel processing, libraries, SDC. So management and administration. How we can admin or how we can manage. So administration console, something like AWS console. So identity access. Yeah. You see, there are two types of accessing. One is root user, the other one is IAM user. So root user account owner that performs task requiring unrestricted access. So he can able to access anything, unrestricted access. Root user access is nothing but a unrestricted access. So in Linux, root user can do, root user is a super user. Root user can do
Can perform commands of a normal user.
no, root user can do anything, right? In the
Anything, yeah, system administration.
yeah, system administrator, root user is a super user. The same like in AWS console, root user account owner that performs a task requiring unrestricted access. IAM user within an account that performs daily tasks. So this is the root user, this is the normal user. This is the root user. So in Linux, root user having any root user can execute bin and sbin commands, but a normal user can execute only bin commands because of super user having a unlimited unrestricted access, but a normal user something like a normal user having some limited actions, right it guys, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Something like administration console. So root user console, identity access, IAM, something like a normal user access, development and workflow, monitoring, CloudWatch is the monitoring. So your applications. Guys, now you understand? So foundation services, application services, deployment and management services. So deployment and management services. The big picture of AWS. So your application, Facebook application, something like a global infrastructure. So bottom line is a global AWS global infrastructure. What is the global infrastructure? Availability zones, regions, and edge locations. Edge locations. I will show you that. Guys, understand, right? So you are accessing a root user or administration account. The regions. So North Virginia, California, Ohio. I already told you, right? AMEA, and APAC. These are the three regions. Having. So in every region having availability zone. In that availability zone, having data centers. Yeah. The first is a region. So region having a multiple availability zones, 2A, 2B, 2C. These are the availability zones. So in the AP Southeast 2 region, having three availability zones. In the three availability zone, so every availability zone having a data center. Now you got it right, guys. Easy, very easy. So something like a global infrastructure. In the global infrastructure, something like availability zones, regions, and edge locations. A foundation services, compute services, storage service, database service, network services. So something like you see a global in AWS global infrastructure, something like a compute services. What is compute services? Amazon EC2 auto scaling. What is the storage services? Storage services are Amazon S3, Amazon EBS, Amazon Storage Gateway, Amazon Glacier. So what are the database services? Amazon RDS, Amazon DynamoDB, Amazon SimpleDB, Amazon Elastic Caching. So networking. Amazon VPC, Elastic Cloud Balancing, Amazon Route 53, AWS Direct Connect. So these are the foundational services. And next, application platform services. Something like a Amazon SQS, notifications, Amazon SNS, email, Amazon SES, libraries and SDK, Java, PHP, Python, Ruby, .NET. So these are the workflows, Amazon SWF, parallel processing, Amazon Elastic, MapReduce. So content delivery, Amazon CloudFront, search, Amazon Cloud Search. So identity and access, IAM, AWS IAM, administration management console, monitoring, Amazon CloudWatch, and deployment automation, AWS Elastic Beanstalk, and AWS CloudFormation. So deployment and automation. So these are the big picture of the AWS. Guys, now you understand? Guys,
Yes, we do understand.
yeah. AWS services. Amazon provides the various types of services as below. I already told you, right? Initially, cloud providers, cloud services, and AWS services. So AWS services are Amazon provides the various types of services as below. Amazon services, they are providing 74 services. 74 services. These are the services. So all services. So I'll view all the services. So these are all the services: compute service, container service, storage service, database service, so migration and transfer service, network and content delivery services, developer tools, customer enablement, robotics, blockchain, satellite, quantum technologies, management and governance, so media services, machine learning services, analytics services, security and identity services, AWS cost management, front-end web and mobile, AR and VR, application integration, business applications, end-user computing, Internet of Things, gaming development. All these are the 74 services they are providing. Globally, they're providing 74 services. 74 services. For example, EC2 is the...
So, Hari, so we have to learn all of these services for the job, or?
No, yeah, no, yeah. Something like I already told you, right? Something like, so you are a database guy. You are a database guy. What you need to learn? Only you need to learn only so
Database services.
yeah, database. So if
RDS.
you're a networking guy, if you are a networking guy, so you can learn only
VPC and
networking concepts. So something like a storage admin, storage or backup or EMC storage admin. So then learn storage concept. Something like you are a Linux administrator, a cloud administrator. You can learn cloud.
Okay.
But you need to know the basics. These are the basics. Who are doing the what? Who are doing what services? Who are accessing what are the services? A database guy accessing database service. Networking guy access network services. Right.
yes,
So this cloud platform, something like in data center, right? In data center environment. So something like who is managing networking, who is managing databases, who is managing Linux servers. So the same way, but here, so everything will be in the under cloud. Everything will be under cloud. That's the reason. So there's 74 AI. So something like machine learning and artificial intelligence services are there, media services are there. We don't want to learn all these things. So the basic knowledge, something like, so what you mostly learn compute services and storage services. Something like we cannot learn database services because of that is the pure and databases. So you learn a little bit of a VPC only. Right. So you are a DevOps engineer. So you are a DevOps engineer. For example, a Terraform is the DevOps tool, IAC tool, infra as a code. So infra as a code tool. So you need to know what is the data networking VPC, what is the RDS, what is the storage, what is the computing services. You need to know to do the automation, for right.
Okay.
You cannot learn 74 service, every services. You can learn few of the services only, something like EC2, S3, RDS. So Route 53, Glacier, Front, DynamoDB, Elasticsearch. Few services you can able to understand. Okay.
okay.
Yeah. So we will complete it. Guys, 1 second. Guys, so something like I'm EC2 services. EC2 service, what EC2 service providing? Virtual private servers. What is a virtual private servers? Something like a VMs, similar to standard VPCs, and are called as an instance, available in variety of sizes. All major operating systems are supported. So these EC2 services to build the servers. So S3 service. What is the S3 service? S3 service is a cloud service. Simple, secure storage, highly scalable. Some companies have PBs of data. PBs means petabytes. Highly available. Data is stored in multiple data centers. RDS. RDS relational database services. MySQL, SQL, Oracle, variety of sizes, high availability, available for read replication, scheduling backups, Route 53, DNS, high availability, work well with other AWS services, fast and secure, pay per zone and million queries. So CloudFront, content delivery network uses a number of global edge locations, fast pay per GB of data transfer, Glacier data archiving, storage data for a prolonged period of time, very cheap, data retrieval takes a few hours. DynamoDB, no SQL databases, high availability, data stored on SSDs for speed, pay per number of read write per second, elastic cache, memcache also there. So these are the elastic services, EC2, Lambda, container services, S3 services, so RDS database services, networking services, administration and security services, deployment and services, analytics services, application services, mobile services. These are the services. Regions. AWS regions are completely isolated from each other and are in the different parts of the world, and AWS regions is a collection of data centers, availability zones. Each region has the set has a set number of agents. All agents in the region connected by a high bandwidth. Cost vary from region to region. A default region is US East. So if you are not selecting any region, it automatically take the default region. That region is US East. So AWS region, data centers spread across the globe. There are 9 regions: US East, US West, EU, APAC 1, APAC 2, APAC 3, Gulf Cloud, US West 2, South America. So these are the regions. Availability zone, subset of region, physically isolated and independent. Independent infrastructure. So low latency, every region has a minimum number of 2 edges. Edge locations. Edge locations are the important part of the AWS infrastructure. There are currently 40 edge locations. They are located in most of the major cities around the world and are used by the CloudFront Route 53 to distribute the content near to the end user. So AWS certifications. What are the AWS certifications? Yeah. AWS certifications. So AWS certifications are solution architect level, a developer level, a SysOps administrator. SysOps administrator, so developer and solution architect. So something like a associative level and professional level. So associative level, AWS certified solution architect, AWS certified developer associate, AWS certified SysOps administrator associate. Professional level, AWS certified solution architect professional level, AWS certified DevOps engineer professional level. So these are the certifications. Guys, you understand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So introduction to AWS EC2, benefits of using EC2, Amazon EC2 use cases, pricing model, AWS instance typo, Amazon mission image, selecting EC2 instance, AWS regions, availability zones, launch Amazon EC2 instance, step by step. Tomorrow we will discuss these points. Okay.
Okay.
So now, guys, you got the clear picture about the basics, right? AWS basics. Why cloud came? What are the cloud services? What are the cloud environments? What are the cloud providers? What are the AWS services? So why we are using AWS services? What is a global picture of the AWS? Right, guys? So this document is available on the shared drive. So you can download and you can read. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, will continue on tomorrow.